Hi and welcome to another episode of 10 Minute Makes. My name is Marcie and today we're going to be using trading card sleeves for specimen cards. My husband plays a game called Magic the Gathering and he used to use this style of sleeve, but he uses something different now, so I inherited a bunch. So what I'm going to do is, you can do several different things. Let me pick up some stickers first. I have some set aside here. And let's go those, okay? Set that aside. And what I did in another 10-minute session is make a bunch of frames, of the specimen frames. And this was using a die and a die cutter. So I think I want to use this one. Let's see. I'm going to use that one. So what you'll do is you'll take one of the sleeves. There it is. And it has a pocket here. It's sealed on 3 edges. And so there's several ways of doing this, and I'll show you the way I like to do it, and then I'll show you some of the different options. So I'm going to hold it. What I'm trying to do is avoid the holes up here, and I just want to get around the frame, or the center frame. Opening, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so then I like to open up 2 of the 3 sides. So I'm going to open the right side and the left side, and I'm going to leave the bottom sealed so it's like a book. And then I will come in with some glue and I'm just going around the perimeter of the opening for now. And then want to set this in this just so the window or the opening is covered. I need to get it straight though. And I like using the glue stick because you do have some time to move it around. So then the opening is going to be right there, and it's like a book. So then you can go over your image to make sure it's going to fit in the profile. The other thing I like to do, because I don't know if you have a problem with clear stickers, but I have such a time getting them off of the paper. So I like to tear this frame off because I feel like they're a lot easier at that point. And I'll get some tweezers. See if I can get this started. And then you can just place it down in the center. And then you can use any kind of glue. And I just like to seal the other side. Let's do this down here. Close it up and you have a nice little specimen card. So the other side doesn't, it still kind of shows through, but really on a specimen card you're just going to be looking at one side anyway. So there's that. We'll do this frame. So on this one, So I sat down one day and I made a bunch of frames. Here is, some of these are done and some are still yet to be finished. And then here's another pile. I just went through whatever paper pad I was working on at that time and just cut a whole bunch down. So the other thing that you can do is, I like to put the scissors inside and then cut. And so this one gives me two halves, two completely different sheets. And again, we have the little hole there that I want to try to avoid getting. And then I'm going to cut it about there. I do want a little bit of overhang. So go through and cut about there, and then we'll see if it's enough to cover the other side. And so out of one sleeve, you can get two different specimen card centers out of that. So then you'll just take some glue. You can use any kind of glue. And I'm just going to put some along the perimeter of the opening. We'll stick one side down. And then we can do the other side while that's adhering. And my timer's getting ready to go off. It really doesn't take long to do these. It's just me fiddling here. Okay, and then let's take the other side and put that down. Remove that plastic piece. Okay. We're gonna go a little over. I want to finish. All right, here we go. Here we go. Got it. Stick that aside, and then let's do, I don't know. Maybe we'll do this one right here. And then what I do is just go around and I put glue everywhere else. You can trim down the sides on each of the sides if you want, so that the glue is on the paper instead of the plastic. It all seems to seal pretty good, so I'm not really worried about it. But that's another option you can do. Okay, so then we'll sew that down. I am not hitting the mark on centering, but there is that one. It's a quick project. You can get a bunch done in a short period of time. And then you have things ready. Again, you have stuff set aside and ready to go when you're ready. And then this one is using one of those clear stickers. So I hope you enjoyed today's 10-minute make and that you look at materials around your house or that aren't being used anymore as, what could I do with that craft-wise? So I will see you tomorrow and have a magnificent day. Bye-bye.